Pretty tidy. Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome to this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk. We're getting ready to go. We're getting ready for the awesomest show. It's going to be a monstrous evening. Oh, I heard the signal. It is time for me to share.
Everyone, if you get a chance, share the link so that we can get some of our friends watching. Hey, come here, emoji.
Get on. Let us know who you are.
Oh, that's why he wants to be. Can you? Emoji. Come on. Getting the doggies situated. They're excited for the show.
Alrighty, daddy.
Okay, let's see here. Where is it?
Get some stuff done here on my end. All right, share. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from.
There's always a whoopsie, isn't there?
Yeah, that was another screen from another meeting earlier today.
Always, yeah. I don't know why this thing is not. Oh, that's why. I just
Okay,
figured out
getting
why
the share going.
I just figured that out. There we go. It's minimizing. Okay, let's see.
Never easy.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, there we go. That's ready. And then I'm going to share. Let's see, we have 8 people. Who's watching? Who's watching with us? Let us know who you are. We'd like to know so we can say hi. Okay, let's see. I am going to share. Whoop. I don't like to share to my story. I like to share to write a post. I don't like to write stories, geez. I don't know why Facebook wants me to write stories.
All right, I'm shared on my end. We're good to go. All right, 8 people watching. Soon that will be 8 million.
I know, right?
Yeah. All right, let me see some comments from everybody. Let's be part of the show. Let's have some fun. Who can tell me the funniest joke? Clean joke. Wait, come on. We are 5 minutes from live, everybody. I better get ready. I have to eat my power pills called dark chocolate M&Ms.
And make sure to take all your pills, James.
I'm eating dark chocolate M&Ms.
I need to take my pills.
Chips. Got my drinks.
My pills for my tooth.
Oh yeah.
On
a side note, I do want to kind of spread the word. This is kind of a serious thing. Did you hear about Chadwick Boseman today?
What?
Okay. Chadwick Boseman passed away this evening.
Really?
Yeah. I am bummed about that. I kind of want to get that out there because I was just a huge fan of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of do a moment of silence later on tonight. Raise feather for him. Anyway, back to fun. Keep positive here.
Yes. Hi, Maya.
Hi, Maya. Who else we have watching?
Wow, it's like the number keeps growing and growing.
Awesomeness.
Maybe we'll have a total of 5 people watching. I know
right.
More than 5, but it's always fun to say that.
Okay, here we go. We are 3 minutes from live, everybody. Oh, hello, God. Vivian. You're watching again. Long time no talk to you. It's been 24 hours.
She's such a fun friend.
I just dropped a dark chocolate M&M.
Vivian is a fun person.
I have to find that. So here we go. Vivian's sharing awesomeness. We have some fun tonight. Monsters fun.
I know, it's like the thing what's fun about this is that, it's like every week you just don't know what could happen. It could be anything that can happen today.
Yeah, we're actually going to take a little history lesson tonight. We're going to go back in time a teeny bit.
Yeah. Don't
and
give
visit
away the secrets.
some great moments from the
Don't
mid
give away the
20th century.
secrets, James. Don't give away the secrets. They have to see it. Don't spoil it.
I'm talking like what's around the fun, but not what the fun is. I'm going to, you know what, Sabrina, you're going to get mad at me. I'm going to go ahead and give a hint. I'm going to give a clue. I'm going to give away. Here's the giveaway. Roar.
Oh, you totally just ruined it for everyone.
I know. No, our viewership's going to go down from a bunch of people to one.
Yes. Actually, no, it'll be two.
We'll go down to just Christine Tracy watching.
It'll be you and me.
Yeah. I remember the early days, our first few shows, we'd go live. And, you know, we're like, wow, we had so many viewers. 2.
Hi, Vivian.
But, you know, we had all this great fun of doing the show, and we're like, oh, we forgot to go live. That luckily, that only happened about 2 months into the show.
Yeah. Whoop.
Yeah.
Hello, Cindy. Hello, Caroline.
Cindy. Cindy, is this your first time watching, or are you a regular viewer?
It's just interesting.
Yep. Okay,
Oh my
we
gosh.
are 1 minute from live.
Oh my goodness. It's like just like crazy. I
Yep.
can't believe how fast the summer went. I mean, August is like gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yay, Cindy. So you're going to enjoy our show, hopefully. We always do it's every week it's different. Every week it's fully different.
Absolutely. If you enjoy our show, Savannah and I make a great team. If you don't really like the show, well, you know, blame Savannah.
Oh.
I am completely innocent.
Oh my gosh, I just realized my regular mic's not even plugged in and I'm using it. Oh my goodness.
True story, when I was recording the voiceovers for the opening this morning, I'm like, why is the microphone all tinny? Why is the microphone? I got this nice microphone. Why is it tinny? And then I discovered the laptop was going from the built-in microphone, not the one that's got the USB one plugged in.
How does that sound, James? Does that sound okay?
That sounds a lot louder. You might want to turn down your volume a little.
Turn down my volume. Is that better?
Yeah, still a little loud. You might turn down your gain a little bit, but I think you're cool.
Turn my gain down a little? Okay, hold on. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Is it good, James?
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually gains
like
up
I'm on the other
kind of
side.
bit and kind of loud, so you might want to back from the mic a little, but we're good.
What? It's still too loud?
We'll go through the show.
Okay. You sure?
All right. Everybody, it's 10 o'clock.
Yes. Let's do this. You ready?
I think so. Shall we?
Yes.
All right, everybody, count down with us. 10,
10, 9,
9,
8, 7,
7, 6,
6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One of these weeks, we're going to get ourselves coordinated on this, counting from 10.
His head.
All right, showtime.
Your time.
ピクルスの巨大なモンスターの瓶が東京を破壊する巨大なモンスターの映画をご覧ください。モンスターは一人ではありません。巨大なモンスターが2体います。巨大なモンスターの赤ちゃんヨーダがピクルスの巨大な瓶に参加して東京を粉砕するのを見てください。巨大なモンスターだけでなく、巨大なベビーヨーダとピクルスの巨大な瓶につながっている巨大なモンスターユニコーンが空中を飛んでいます。 今年の最大の映画を見逃さないでください。巨大なモンスターが攻撃します。
Welcome to Late Night Craft Talk, now in Technicolor, with host Sabea Komori Yang and James Hermes. This week's special guest, Sabrina Ingalls from Mostly Monsters. This week's show is brought to you by Quarantino's brand new Pandemicola. Are you stuck at home from the quarantine during these hot summer days? Try a cool, fresh beverage. Quarantino's Pandemicola. Hello, Sabea. How are you doing on this fine day in 1950s?
I'm doing very nice, Mr. James. How are you?
All right. Well, we're here. We're a couple scientists here to defend Late Night Craft Talk, our talk show, from the invading monsters that are taking over the Earth. Science.
It's very, very important to learn science, boys and girls.
Yes. I am a chief scientist and warrior fighting the monsters in Monster Zero, especially Baby Yoda and that giant Jar Jar of Pickles. No, I wasn't stuttering. That's his name, apparently. And we have Sabea on my, do you hear Sabea from my angle? Sabea, she's a scientist, a female scientist in 1950s. More progressive, yeah.
Yes,
right.
I am. Maybe I can go bake a cake. Do you want me to go bake a cake, James?
Let's do that, then we'll fight the monsters. We got to know our priorities. We're civilized. I'm trying not to break character from that smile again. Don't do this to me. You're freaking me out. You're really freaking me out. I need to move on to the next line, Savannah. Quit doing that. Damn it. Oh, oops. Tonight, folks, we are going to science the heck out of the monsters. Oh, I cursed. I'm sorry. I said,
oh my goodness, that's not very appropriate language. You know, you shouldn't be swearing. You need to apologize to our audience.
No, I'm not. We're not barbarians like communists. Or monsters. So, Savannah, are we ready?
Do you want a cocktail, James?
Yes, I do. And we got to have our priorities. And with that, I think we're burning out all the one-liners.
Let's start over.
We need to start over. We're burning out our liners we were going to do the whole show, and we just killed it. We're going to do a do-over for everybody. Just hold on. Just remember, we're being invaded by monsters, and we're gonna fight them right quick. Do over and do over. It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Sabea Komori Yang and James Hermes. This week's special guest, Sabrina Ingalls from Mostly Monsters. This week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk is brought to you by Quarantino's Pandemicola. If you're stuck home because of these hot summer days and can't go anywhere, try a refreshing beverage, Quarantino's Pandemicola.
Hello, James.
You look good. You look good this week.
Thank you. Hey, James. So how has Elk Grove Traders been this week?
We have had a great week. Let me get over here and clap my hands together because I'm having a technical difficulty. All right. Here. We had a great week this week. Our craft kits are done. They're on the website starting this weekend, probably tomorrow afternoon, because I have to teach some craft classes to some youth groups tomorrow with our kits that they pre-ordered. They're loving it. I worked with the class, actually, the first group this afternoon. So we'll have that and lots of cool artwork. Wait, this angle. Cool artwork coming up on the website. The next few days I'll be slowly posting, doing a little bit of catch up. So really digging it. So Savea, how's Dancing Bear?
Hey, James. So this week we actually have allowed some appointments and it's been really busy. And so far everyone's been doing really well. And so we're really excited about starting to open our store again and I'm sorry, my hair's in my face. Oh, just in my face.
House?
Driving me crazy in my hair, but it's so purple.
Yes, it is. I love it. You've done something new with your hair. It's a new purplish. It looks so natural.
Thank you.
Perfectly normal. Okay. So with everything, we got our little bit of business out of the way. We'd like to thank this week's sponsor, Quarantino's brand, even though it says Crush because I got the can wrong angle. Quarantino's brand, Pandelicola.
Pandelicola.
Good
Yes,
stuff.
and
Nice and refreshing.
also, we have to announce our winner from last week's contest, James.
Yes, we do. Are we ready? Do we need a drum roll? Do we need a drum roll?
My hair. Yes. Okay, so
Okay.
this week's winner is
Boom.
Maya's winner!
Yay, Maya! Yay!
Yay!
I see somebody weird poking their over my shoulder, over my shoulder looking. I'm gonna have to talk to them, our camera crew. Anyway, so now we got that out of the way. Are we ready for this week's guest?
Yes.
All right, let's bring it on.
Let's start our guest this week.
This week's guest is Sabrina Ingalls from Mostly Monsters. All right, let's hear it for this week's. This is going to be a fun interview. And we're back. Okay. Hi, Sabrina.
I'm sorry, I need to ask her too. Come on.
Okay. While you're doing that, let me take a look. This is awesome. I'm looking at some of our posts here from our folks. I'm dying. If you're dying, you need help. Oh,
Hi.
All right, Sabrina, welcome.
Sabrina, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. You look really good. Your skin looks really nice and soft.
We've been meeting several few times this week over the show tonight.
I think I lost a little weight.
Well, no. Let me guess here. We've been meeting all this week, and you did something this afternoon. You look different. Glasses. You got new glasses.
Yeah, me and my glasses.
I
always got some different glasses going on.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Sabrina, I've known her for years. I've always been very impressed with her awesome imagination and all her great products that she makes. And when I was trying to put together this slideshow, it was really hard because when I was just like saving every picture, and I'm just like, okay, well, maybe instead of me doing a slideshow where I save just a few pictures, we're going to actually look at her Etsy shop so you guys can get an idea of the kind of cool stuff she has, because she really has cool stuff. I mean, yeah, so let's look at her.
Monster stuff, but it's not all monsters, just mostly.
Yes.
Just mostly monsters.
Mostly. Big, mean, eating monsters. She is. We watched her fight off an 8-foot pandema buffalo. Pandefalo. With COVID-19 horns, and she fought it off. And you know what? That's normal in her shop because it's mostly monsters.
This is
and
true.
I just made up the word pandefalo.
This is true.
I'm going to use that in a sentence a few more times tonight.
Pandefalo.
Pandefalo. Normally you actually
Pandefalo.
You actually can ward them off with Quarantino's brand Pandemicola.
Oh, that's very good to know. Okay.
Even though it says Crush, we'll just say it says Pandelicola.
I'm going to share her shop. So this is actually her Etsy shop. She has an assortment of really cute things. I mean, her main monster is a blue monster with 3 eyes. But if you start to scroll through here, let me get my mouse over to this area. So when you start to scroll through here, look at how cute this stuff is. I love these hats. Okay, so she makes these really cool monster hats. So let's see. Okay, hold on a second.
Halloween's right around the corner.
Yeah, so she makes these beautiful monster hats. She makes these cute little thumbkins. They are just so cute. And actually this one, because we were talking about this one here, there's actually a little video. And this is so cute. Like, well, how cute are these? Look at these little guys. Oh my goodness. It's fun. They're just fun. I've always thought these are so cute. She makes little kitty cats and all kinds of little things. So, but here's some of her stuff. Look at these hats. And I guess now you make tails. I didn't know you made the tails.
I do. I have tails to match the hats. And if hats are too much for you, I have just ears on a headband, so you can get the same look without having to wear a full
Oh.
hat.
Okay. These are really cute. These little felt buttons. I saw you had some Star Wars inspired ones. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes, I do. I used
Yes.
to, if you look under Warrior Bear, you'll find them in there.
The warrior bears. Okay. But see, look at these little bunnies. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. And I love these ones. The little Kleenex thing with the teeth and they're so cute.
Oh, yeah.
So she doesn't just do pink ones. She actually was very smart and color coded her listings. So as I scroll through here, I think that's really a smart idea. But as you scroll through here,
A lot of customers like to shop that way.
yeah, so it's kind of cool because there's, when you look through it, you see it start to change color, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, it's going to purple, my favorite color, purple.
To match your hair.
Yeah, it does match my hair. Look at how cute this stuff is. It's very imaginative, and that's what I like about your stuff. It's just different. And when someone goes to a craft fair and they walk down the aisles and they see your stuff, it's just lots of really cool, like really brightly colored stuff and very imaginative. So it's kind of a cool thing, you know, just when you come upon this stuff at a craft show, it's just so much different. Tell us about these Seek and Finds. I think these are a really cool thing you make.
I don't have very many in the shop right now, but something I've been doing for a long time. It's great for travel right now with the kids being home. It keeps them from making a mess, but something to play with. Each one of them has a list of the 10 items that are hiding inside of it. And it's there, you kind of have to mush the whole thing around and find the goodies that are inside behind the styrofoam beads. So you can do it over and over and over again. Well, when I first made them, I just thought of a sensory toy, great for little kids. I have now found that when people have been sitting outside of Hall H at Comic-Con, there's a whole group of people, grown adults, that are walking around with carabiners full of these things hanging on their backpacks, and they're like sitting competing with each other to see how fast they can find their things. So it had a weird little niche I did not expect. So
that is cool. So they're actually, you've seen people with your Seek and Find.
Yes,
Wow.
I've seen them out in the wild in real life on carabiners on backpacks for full-grown adults. So.
That is so cool. That's fun. So anyway, but I just think that there's some really unique things that I've never seen those before. So I thought that was really cool. And you actually make zip pouches out of
Yes, random leftover candy wrappers. They've been vinylized so that they're a lot more sturdy than if you had just a regular candy wrapper. And they're lined with fabric. If you look through the pictures, sometimes you can see inside. I don't know if you can on this one or not. But just so they didn't go to waste.
Oh, here.
That was kind of fun. You can see inside of it.
And it doesn't come with money.
Yes, I have to put the stipulation in there. These objects are just for scale purposes.
Yes.
A lot of items like the thumbkins are so small that I have to put a quarter or a key or a dollar bill next to it so you can see how big they really are.
Yeah. So, but I just really love your imagination. You have these zombie baby dolls.
Now, I'll show you a zombie baby doll. So zombie babies are actually made from a glove, but they'd be a mutant if I left all the parts.
Okay, so now you can see.
There you go. Okay. Hold on, I lost. There we go. So they'd be a mutant if I had all the parts. So I actually have to cut off the thumb and close it up. So all those little thumbkins are made from the leftover thumbs from the dolls. So I literally don't let any part of it go to waste.
That's very cool. Okay, let me go back to the share because I wanted people to see what you were talking about. Let's see.
Oh, of course.
So, but yeah, these are the zombie babies. They're so cute. They're just fun. So here. Okay.
And I have a lot more merchandise than is shown on the website. So if there's ever something people see on Facebook or Instagram and they don't see it in the shop, just send me a message. I just haven't had time to get them all listed yet.
Yeah, because there's just so, I believe me, I know we have at our store.
It's very time consuming.
So many things. Yeah, we have so many things to share, and there's only so much time in the day.
Not enough hours in the day to get it all done.
Yes, this is true. So, but this is like, I think this is a really good way to like kind of get an idea of your stuff. These are really cute. These little reminder ones are just adorable.
My COVID monsters. Needed to have a few little COVID monsters to remind people. My dentist wanted one for their desk.
That is so cute. And it's wearing a mask. That's very appropriate, right? Aw, this is so cute. And then of course, you love Doctor Who.
Oh, I do. And I know somebody else who does also.
I only have a TARDIS in my store. Yeah, these are so cute. Look at this. They're just so cute. This is little felt adipose. But just really fun stuff. Look at this stuff. But yeah, so how do you, so this, everything here takes a lot of imagination. So like, where do you get started on this kind of thing? Like,
a lot of times it's just whatever tickles my fancy. Sometimes it's like I'll pick up a scrap of fabric and it looks like something to me. Maybe nobody else on the planet, but I'll just pick it up. My husband always warns people, don't sit down. She'll probably turn you into something. So I literally, when I started my business, originally I was called Sabrina Scraps because I had no money for anything. And I was literally just using scraps of things I could find around or people gave me. And then it morphed into Mostly Monsters because I'm just mostly monsters, not entirely, not 100%, but mostly monsters.
mm-hmm.
So I actually have a whole story. If you want to hear how it started out, I can read you the story.
Yeah. Would you like to read the story? Oh, wait, really quick.
I will be happy to read you the story.
Here is our warrior bear Felty. I have to point him out.
Warrior bear. That is a warrior
He is
bear.
so cute. He is so cute. I have a green monster.
Like that. I do make bigger.
I have a green Halloween monster in my office that you made that I love.
Yes, you do. From many years ago.
Yes, this is so cute. I think I need to have this one in my collection. Okay. So,
I'll have to start making the bigger ones again. I haven't done that for a while. So
yeah. So tell us your story, Sabrina.
Okay, I will read you my story. So let me get up my best story reading voice. So way back in 1989, there was a girl named Sabrina who wanted to make cool stuff that would make other people smile. That would be me. So she did. For many years, she made dolls and costumes and toys and home decor and jewelry and much more. Her little business morphed and changed names a few times. Kitten's Kids, Sabrina Scrap Bag, and Sabrina Scraps, to name a few. Whatever she called it, people really seemed to like the goodies she made out of repurposed materials on a shoestring budget, long before that was fashionable. Now, before long, her craft goodies were all over San Diego County and finding their ways into homes in other states. And in the midst of all this crafting chaos, she became a mom. Now, 2 kids later, she found herself so busy that it was time to take a break from the crafts. It was a long time away, more than enough time to change her creative batteries, charge up, and raise a couple of awesome adults with the help of her supportive husband. In 2011, she was a busy mom and a Girl Scout leader, helping her teenage Girl Scouts with a program called A Journey. The girls were required to adopt a dreamer and help someone else fulfill their dream. At the same time, she was in a panic trying to figure out how to pay for her soon-to-be college student, how to pay for tuition. So, 23 years after making her first doll for sale, she found herself totally new ideas in her head and a plethora of teenagers surrounding her with even more new ideas. The Girl Scouts helped research how to start an online business, what the latest trends were, and even designed the logo. But how could she do it alone? Lo and behold, she found she didn't have to do it alone. She had a built-in partner in crime, in creativity. So, Mostly Monsters CV, Chula Vista, was hatched. With daughter Taylor's artistic ideas and pop culture sensibilities and mom Sabrina's crafty know-how, the team got to work making some of the most adorable monsters around, if I do say so myself. Colorful furry hats, cuddly pillows, not so scary monsters, dolls, toys, jewelry, barrettes, and the list goes on and on and on and on. We're proud to announce that the monsters have now paid for Taylor's college tuition. She graduated debt-free through all that hard work, thanks to the monsters. And now my business keeps growing because I want to do it, and it's fun to create the magical critters that are still inside my head. That's my little story time.
That is monstrously good.
That is very good. I wanted to share something else, you guys. So what's really cool is that she sent us this video before or this week of some people that bought her hats. And it's such a cute video. I wanted to share it because I thought everyone would really enjoy watching the show.
This is sent from Japan. Like some people that I met that were great customers sent me this video from Japan.
Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can find it because now I'm not seeing it. Okay, every second.
If not,
Show
it's
all
trapped in our red.
windows. Here we go. Show all the windows. Yeah. Okay.
How many
Here.
tabs open?
Is it still in the group chat?
Let's see.
Probably.
I actually downloaded it. Okay. So I'm just going to show my download screen because you just see that I downloaded tons of pictures. So look at how cute.
San Diego International Fringe Festival. We miss you.
So anyway, did you guys hear the sound?
You can hear the sound.
Did you hear it? Did you hear the sound?
We heard
I
the
can
sound.
hear it. Couldn't
Okay,
see
good,
it.
good.
We can
Okay.
see your screen, but not the movie.
Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right back. So, Sabrina, so let's see. So, hold on a second. Sabrina's the star of the show now.
And what do you want to know?
So, Sabrina, tell us.
Please do.
What
I'll be happy
is
to
the
tell
most-
you, but what do you want me to tell you?
What is the most favorite item you've ever made?
I think my favorite item that I've ever made is something that I didn't sell to the public. I actually made puppets for Turning Tides Theater Company's production of.
Oh, how cool is that?
Wow, you made puppets?
I did. I made puppets. They were full-size Ewok puppets for Turning
That
Tides Theater. It was
is cool.
Phantom of the Empire. Sorry, I had a moment there. Phantom of the Empire was the show, and the Ewoks saved the day, and they needed life-size Ewoks. So I made life-size Ewok puppets, and it was just the most fun ever. Got to travel around with them a couple times and see those. Other than that, probably one of my favorite things to make, I currently don't have in the shop because they're selling so fast, but it's your favorite little warrior bear, and he's about this big and so cute and cuddly, you just want to hug them to death.
Oh my goodness. I think
As soon as I get them made again, I will have to make sure one finds
I'm
home
just a
with you.
country bumpkin here. What's the warrior bear? You mean? What's the warrior bear is?
It's code for Ewok.
Oh,
It's so cute. It's
We don't want the
adorable.
Disney police coming to get me, right?
no, it just happens to look kind of the same.
Exactly.
called-
It's a warrior
you can-
bear,
Warrior bear, not an Ewok
not an Ewok.
or Pandemawalk.
Yeah.
And they're so cute.
Oh,
and your teeth hurt.
I just need some more Pandemicola.
James and
Yeah.
your sponsorship.
I'm just trying to get it because we're not getting Pepsi. We try Pepsi every week.
So, tell us about the Fringe Festival.
San Diego Fringe Festival, just sort of one of those weird things I stumbled into. They had to take a break this year because of COVID. but it's an international festival that started in Edinburgh in, I want to say 1939, but I could be wrong about that particular year. I know it's been around for a long time, and gradually they've spread around that there are fringe festivals all over the world. And it's fringe because it's on the fringes. It's not your normal theater experience. Basically, anything goes, from crazy puppet theater to acrobatics to gymnastics to singing to theater, anything. Literally anything goes. The one here in San Diego has the most identifiable mascot for it, who is designed by my wonderful friend Ron Logan, amazing graphic designer. And we both sort of had this weird dream one night right after he'd won the contest that created the character for it. And with his blessing and his help, I now make all the merchandise to help promote the San Diego Fringe Festival. So if you look at my website, there's a section called SV Fringe, and that's Fringelo, the funny little mascot. He's sort of a peanut head with this super crazy hair and his tiny little goatee and crazy eyes. And so I've just made all kinds of crazy things to go along with it. And Fringelo has traveled all over the world and helped me make friends all over the world and customers all over the world as well. You can see on my Facebook page lots of pictures of people all over the world wearing them. I've got a lot of fans in Japan and a lot of fans in Italy, which is kind of cool. And I have a really great fan in New Zealand and a couple more in Australia too.
That's
not just
so cool. Oh my
just a
gosh.
California thing. But I happened to be in the right place at the right time and meet the right people, and it was a perfect fit with my weird sensibilities. It fit with the weird mascot we had for Fringe.
You are definitely on
Very
the
cool.
fringes.
I'm definitely on the fringes.
Out of curiosity, and this is kind of a little out of left field, you familiar with the movie Beetlejuice, right?
Of course.
One of my favorite quotes from that, and I forget the girl that said it, but when they ask, how come she can see Beetlejuice and some of the ghosts? Well, actually, no, it was before Beetlejuice came in. She can see the ghosts. She said ghosts are unusual, and she herself is unusual.
It's unusual. That's it. That's exactly it.
Do you see dead people?
Actually, there have been a few.
What? Really?
Or are they just that boring? Or, do they walk through walls? You're like, oh.
No, I've had some visitors a few times.
Out of curiosity, after you've been working, say 15 hours at your shop, getting an order done, do you turn around and see something, kind of whisper to yourself, I see dead people everywhere?
No, I just see monsters everywhere. Everything's a monster to me. Even the bush outside my door is a monster now.
Do you put googly eyes on it?
I do. Yeah, my monster bush has googly eyes about this big.
Awesome. Googly eyes.
That's so cool.
My lamp next to me has googly eyes on it. I didn't put them on there. My daughter did that, but things in our house all have googly eyes.
Googly eyes are the
cool.
best. Everybody should have them. It would solve lots of problems.
Yes.
Just carry a handful with you and just put googly eyes on anything as you're walking by.
Yes, Maya. She said Chula Vista because Chula Vista is where Maya lives.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, okay.
Sorry, I currently can't see the chat box. So
trip to go visit mostly monsters and the beach. Dress as a monster.
Yes.
If you're dressed sneaky enough, you can scare people off and have your own strip of beach.
The only place you can find me right now is online, but I just got news in the last 2 days of 2 shows that may actually be coming back to life. Craftapalooza, which I wish I had the flyer to show you because it went along with the 50s. The woman's like screaming like 50 style from the thing. That will happen at the end of November as long as everything goes like it should. And one of my other favorite shows in La Mesa is supposed to happen at the end of September. It's an indoor show. They're working on ways to keep it safe. And as long as everything works out as planned, there will actually be a couple of smaller live shows nearby. We won't be completely trapped in our homes anymore.
That's good.
Thumbs up.
Good.
Yes, definitely a thumbs up.
So, what you said, I know that you and James have something in common.
We do?
Yes, because you were saying, I know that you, Sabrina, work with the Girl Scouts.
I do.
So tell us about that.
I have been a Girl Scout leader for 21 years. And if you go onto my actual website, mostlymonsterschulavista.com, under blog, that's one tab in there, it tells the full story of exactly how my Girl Scouts were involved in getting this all started. And what's really cool is what used to be my little girls in my troop are now my co-leaders in my troop, and we're on the second generation, same troop number. They're all basically 25, 26 years old, and we're still doing Girl Scouts. And tomorrow I will be teaching a class to other Girl Scout leaders so that they can do more crafty stuff at home while we're all trapped in virtual world.
Outstanding. Yeah, when we first had our first meeting on Monday, Sabrina says she's a scout leader, and I'm actually, I've been a leader for what's called a Boy Scout Venture Crew, which I've talked about in the show before. They're 14 to 21-year-old youth, and we do a lot of we concentrate on high adventure trips. And we started talking today. It's like, okay, I didn't know that. And, we're talking about scout camps and stuff. So we definitely could. Sabrina's one of those people I could talk. We could probably jaw all day about scouts. So a lot of fun.
For sure. My son was a Boy Scout too, all the way through. We dragged him to lots of Girl Scout things.
I wish that you were my Girl Scout leader. Can I be
You just
in
wanted to go
group?
to Europe with us, huh?
I don't know, Savea, are you good with kids?
No.
I didn't think so. I'm not either. I'm their leader, but we need to have responsible adults, and that's hard to find. But I try to be
Our
responsible
Girl
and
Scouts
inspirational.
actually go from kindergartner all the way through high school. So my girls actually went all the way through, and my current batch of girls that we have in our troop, they are what we call cadets, and 2 of them are about to be seniors. So they're actually middle school and high school age.
Okay. Are you considered like the cool adult leader?
If you're not really great
or
with kids, you can still volunteer.
Absolutely. Are you considered like the cool leader to the kids, or like kind of the mopey ones? I bet you're a cool leader.
Kind of depends on the day, because I have to do a lot of yelling. I'm always in charge of stuff. So it also depends on the kid, I think.
Yeah. But it's fun when you get a kid, you can get kind of like burned, as a longtime leader, you can get kind of burned. And when you have a couple of kids, or even one, they're just enjoying the heck out of themselves, it so revitalizes you and your energy.
I figure I must have done something okay if they're still wanting to be with me and they graduated in 2012. So it must be something must be okay.
Gotcha. I'm to the point now that I've been involved long enough with venturing and stuff that I've got kids that I worked with, 20 years ago. I'm working with their kids and now they're adult leaders. I'm like, not old. And I'm considered kind of one of the boring leaders.
Hey, you find what you love
ironic.
and find a way to do it, whether it's through volunteering or it ends up being your job.
Well, that's a great thing I love is volunteerism.
So, Sabrina, what is one of your best-selling products?
Definitely one of the best-selling and the longest-lasting has been the fuzzy hats. You can see I've got one back over here. The fuzzy hats, I started off just for fun because I had some fake fur. They probably will never die. Everyone wants to have the fuzzy hat. Now I've added the fuzzy tails, and I get really hot at the drop of a hat, no pun intended. So I can't always wear the hats except like in their deep winter time, especially here in California. So I started making headbands with ears. So you have your option in there. Those are the constant. They happen all the time. There's a whole story, and I'm not allowed to share the picture because the gentleman has not allowed me to share the picture. But at some point, he was running by a festival, saw one of my hats, didn't even bother to try it on, just looked right at it and said, I want that hat, paid me for it, ran off. Never saw the guy again, I thought. Didn't hear from him, and suddenly I get a message saying, I was wondering, can you make me 3 more of these hats? I'm like, okay. He's like, this is what I want. This is how I want it. And he sent me the picture of the one he actually had. I have all the photos he sent to me. I remade them, and very strange situation. He had me meet in a public place to hand them over to him. But there was a reason for it. I made someone come with me because I'm like, I don't know why this guy is being so weird about it.
What a weird.
Turned out that he's known through the entire like EDM festival circuit because of that hat. And he now has tattooed on his leg the famous comic character that he's known as, wearing my hat literally for the rest of eternity. Like, whoever the tattoo artist was amazing, because you can see every tiny little stitch line, every little piece of hair. His particular one has button eyes. You can see the stitches on the buttons. So this guy now has, he wanted the hats because he was afraid that I would stop making them, and how would he get his hat and get through the rest of his life? He has to have this hat. So I've actually made several of them for him, and I have pictures that I don't get to share of his amazing tattoo and pictures of him wearing the hat that's on his tattoo.
How
I mean,
cool
that
is
was just
that?
the weirdest story ever, but it was pretty cool.
That is so cool that you have one of your products tattooed on someone's leg.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. I mean, what are the chances? And all because he was just happened to see it as he was walking by the booth and just grabbed it, and 2 minutes later it was his. So I'll probably keep making the hats in one version or other forever. Our biggest challenge right now, because Taylor's helping with this, is trying to figure out when we go back to normal craft show life, how to sell the hats, because half the fun of them is people want to try them on, take a picture, tag, take selfies, and we won't be able to allow that for now. So we're going to have to find creative ways to showcase the hats and all the fuzzy things and still keep them safe. If anyone has ideas, I'm open ideas.
Yeah. Well, oh, you know what you could do? Maybe you could put a mirror, have a mirror that's the shape of a head, and then you put the hat over the mirror, and then they can look in the mirror and see what it looks like.
That's funny.
That would be fun.
The other thing that's been really, really, really popular is little zipper bags. So if you look on the Etsy shop, you can see I have tons more I'm going to be putting up there, but making all different kinds of little zipper bags, because everyone wants a little bag. Before, it was for your credit card, your ATM card, carry as little as possible. And I always include a little lobster clasp so you can hook it on your keys or your belt loop or whatever. But now with everyone having to wear masks, the bigger ones are selling even more, just a little bit bigger than credit card size, so they can fold up their mask and have it handy when they need that. So that's another huge deal right now.
That's cool. Yeah, because those little wallets, they're great. You can throw them in your bag, and awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to go digging in your pockets. You don't want to be digging in a purse. You want everything that you need just right there in a hurry right now. So
yes.
Working on getting more of those listed.
That's actually a really great product, because I know that when when my wallet, sometimes I'll just have a little coin purse and it has all my credit cards and stuff, and it just switch it from bag to bag.
Yeah,
Then,
you can just do it real fast in there. So I have little bitty ones, and the little bitty ones are great for, you can throw them in the washing machine when you get home. And then I also now have a lot of the ones with embroidered designs on them, because I treated myself to my fancy embroidery machine I can hook up. Those are less washable, but they're really cute. So yes, I even have Baby Yoda.
Right, so
Except he's not called a Baby Yoda. He's called something else on there, because again, I don't want the Disney police coming to get me.
Yes, that would be bad.
And
Yeah.
I do custom orders if people want certain things.
Yeah. That's so cool. I just love your stuff because it's so much fun, and I love fun stuff.
I think first meeting James is thinking monster as in like big scary, but I'm a little more on the Sesame Street side.
Yeah.
I
It's
was
like
not disappointed. I did not change
Cutesy,
expectations,
chibi,
but I was
kawaii.
hoping for, Freddy Krueger's.
I do a few of those, and I'm personally a fan of The Walking Dead. So you can actually find it on the Etsy shop. One of my favorite things I make was a real labor of love, and I don't make much money off of it, but it's a hair bow that's blood splatters, and it has a teeny tiny baseball bat with the barbed wire around it. So it's tiny Lucille on there. So if you know Walking Dead, you know what I'm talking about. And if not, you're like, what is wrong with you, crazy person?
Well, let me hang on one part where you said you're still a fan of The Walking Dead. I got a few seasons to catch up on, but congratulations. Other part, Savea, when it comes to what you're talking about with the little blood splatter, should we say who we're both thinking of that would be love that thing at the same time?
Blood splatter.
Co-host
Christy?
Christy Nieto.
Oh yeah.
She'd go nuts for
No,
that.
I'm friends with her.
Yeah, she knows
Really?
Christy.
I've known her as long as I've known Svea.
My
First time ever being on TV was side by side with Christy.
Okay. Let me imitate Christy if she saw that. Boom.
Oh yeah. Christy and I shop together. We don't intentionally, but we're always like, look what I got. And it's always the same thing. But no kidding. If you look at the videos on my Facebook page, there is a video from when I first started, and it's me and Christy on KUSI selling our wares.
Very cool.
Yep.
We have a comment from Maya. Awesome Negan's Lucille. Is that a Walking Dead thing?
Oh yeah. No, that's the walkie. That's what she's talking about is the
Okay.
Lucille. And if you go look on the Etsy shop, you will see Lucille. It just says Lucille on it. And those who know.
I'm going to do that
Okay.
right now.
So for me, like
I have
love
a number
Halloween.
of I have a number of Stephen King things too that aren't currently listed but will be soon. I also will have some Outlander things up as well. I'm kind of a book nerd as well.
So James, you know how you thought that Sabrina likes, scary monsters. So for me, like I love Halloween, but I love like the cute and fun Halloween. I don't like all the gory stuff. Like I love the cute, like, oh, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Dracula. Oh, it's a witch.
The people that like to run
I'm
haunted
kind of
houses.
more of the cutesy Halloween. I've been helping my daughter is getting ready to move, and her entire bedroom is going to be all Halloween things, and it's like the vintage traditional Halloween. So we have a lot of those fabrics and things in the house at the moment.
Greatest
That is so cool.
non-religious holiday ever. I actually like I work occasionally in haunted houses, and when I do, I get a big demand going, can you help us? Can you help us? Because I get really into it.
I can see that. Well, that's one of the reasons I started this business is I went to school for costume design, but I'm mostly focused on children's theater because they're all the cool costumes. The other stuff has a tendency, if you're working in theater, to be a little more straight-laced and less imaginative. So the kids stuff, you get to do more fun things. But yeah, any excuse to make a costume for anybody, and Halloween was totally my jam. So
Sometimes with some of our weekly shows, we have to come up with the costumes. It's like Halloween over and over a few times. Some earlier shows, we did some major costume changes.
well, Halloween's
But
gonna
nothing
be
tonight,
like
nothing
a different
wild
animal
tonight.
this
We're
year,
totally
but there's
normal
no
tonight.
reason not to dress up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should decorate our houses and just totally just go crazy decorating them because you know what?
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
at least enjoy it.
And then take the kids driving through to see all the houses like you do at Christmas, right? I mean, don't people like drive around in the car to go see all the Christmas lights? Well, let's do it with
Yeah.
Halloween instead.
I know,
Yes. 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 Yes.
Svea will appreciate. I have a giant Oogie Boogie and a giant sandworm and a Jack Skellington. They go up in front of my house for Halloween, and they stay all the way through Christmas, and they get just a little revamp in there. So
Yay.
I mean, my sandworm, like his mouth turns around and stuff, and he's
Let
like
me-
50 feet long.
Let me grab something from the other room right quick. I got a cool story on this. This is the exact
Okay.
subject.
We're not going anywhere.
20 seconds.
You know what I would do, Sabrina, to drive my neighbors crazy? I would have a huge dragon on my roof right above our windows and leave it up year round.
Well, because they're the blow up ones, you can't leave them too long, so I have to be
Okay.
careful with them. But they go up before Halloween and they come down around right after Christmas. There you go. I love it.
This is a permanent decoration. I've got like a cool display case with some basketry work, some native basketry work,
And,
and
you
some
just stays there.
some native pottery work I've collected over the years. And sitting on that same display stand is Skeletor. And I actually got this as what's called a paddle fest for like kayaking, paddle sports, canoes, and all that. So paddle boards over Lake Havasu. It
Uh-huh.
was November 1st. We came in on Friday, being Halloween, and I went in on Saturday morning. I had to run to a Rite Aid, and they had all this stuff on clearance. And I went nab. and I got this, and I'm like, Skeletor's my buddy, and they had some Christmas stuff up early, and I bought the little Santa hat and the little scarf, and I stuck this in front of my kayak, and the batteries are out. Otherwise, he's going to be playing dueling banjos. And I'm paddling through the channel and under London Bridge with this thing going, and I got the GoPro video in front of me. I'm just paddling along, and this thing's just playing along with a little Santa hat, and stuck it on YouTube, and it was like 10,000 views in 5 days. I was like, well, that's popular. And ever since then,
that was a wise investment.
he's my Halloween and Christmas buddy.
Oh, I love it.
And you know what? He likes you. Look at that.
Aw.
He loves it. He might make another appearance on the show.
He's
Okay.
up in my bathroom, so I can't take him down. He's too hard to get at the moment. But a couple years ago, we were doing a lot of different Harry Potter things for different occasions. So I've redecorated my bathroom during this pandemic, being trapped in the house. It is now a Harry Potter bathroom. But my favorite thing, not for sale, just for me, that I've ever made is actually the Monster Book of Monsters from Harry Potter. I mean, he's like real fur in ice, and he's in a cage in the corner, and he looks at you when you're in the bathroom. He's hanging from a chain on the ceiling with all his eyes, his teeth, and his tongue hanging out.
That's really good to make an uncomfortable bathroom.
So they don't spend too much time in there.
You need one of those like little toilet bowl things with the little hand that comes up going, ah.
Well, I have a sticker on the inside of the toilet that says Ministry of Magic this way.
Can your bathroom be mistaken as something designed by Tim Burton?
No, it's definitely Harry Potter-ish. It's
Okay.
coming straight out of Harry Potter. My daughter's room used to be all Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Now she's moving, so I'm moving.
Speaking of Harry Potter, Savea, it's Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Dobby.
Gollum. Schmeagol.
Dobby.
Schmeagol.
Dobby.
Schmeagol.
I have Dobby in my bathroom.
So James
Yes.
James had a guest on our show, and it was Gollum, and I kept calling him Dobby on purpose.
Dobby.
And Gollum's going because we're doing this bit between him and Hulk talking. He's going, no, I'm Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Where's your damn movies? Where's your damn movies, you girl?
I'm like,
you're
Dobby.
I'm totally not getting the voice, but no, I can't.
wrong world.
I'm like, Dobby, I'll give you a sock.
It's Lord of the Rings.
It was really awesome. It was so
I can tell
funny.
you now that what's the bad guy from Lord of the Rings? Sauron. And what's the bad guy from Harry Potter?
Voldemort.
Huh?
Voldemort.
Voldemort.
You
Voldemort
must not be
could not
named.
wipe Sauron's butt. Okay, I said it.
Oh my goodness.
Voldemort
Sorry, I'm having
is
to hang
not-
up my
is
mini
an
me because
ant
of
to
spiders crawling on
Sauron.
her.
Okay.
You're hanging your mini me. It's so cute. That was the cutest. That was seriously the cutest little puppet. It's adorable.
We had more fun with the puppets this afternoon. Get ready.
Yes, yes.
Savannah and I were getting a little tired of pushing and moving things around, so we're kind of like we're messaging each other during the show. Let's end this bit a little bit early. we're
I'm having
getting very
cramps
much new
in my
respect for
arms.
puppeteers.
Oh, I
told you,
know.
It's exhausting, though.
It's
And you used to be a
crazy.
puppeteer, right?
Your arm gets tired.
You worked in puppetry. You were a puppeteer for a while, right?
I did puppets when I was a kid. When I was growing up, my parents did a lot of stuff at church, and they had a whole puppet ministry that they did. And so my mom took a lot of classes that were teaching how to build the puppets, and I was just sort of tagging along in the back, probably 8, 9, 10 years old. So I kind of learned a lot of that stuff from her. My grandmother was the most amazing seamstress. Like, I remember as a kid, she lived in Mississippi. My mother would lay us on the floor on newspapers and trace around our bodies and just send that newspaper to my grandma. And my grandma would send back clothes that fit perfectly.
Isn't that amazing?
But I would get so frustrated as a kid because I had ideas in my head, but then I'd try to make them and they were so awful. Like, the stitching was ridiculous. They just were not what I was planning at all. It wasn't until I got to college. I had my whole entire life been planned to be a musician. I wanted to be a music teacher. I've been playing clarinet since I was about 5 years old. I always planned to be a music teacher, and I was at San Diego State, and at SDSU, their music building literally faces the theater building. So when I was on my one break that I had during the day, I was watching people like practicing things for different theater classes. I ended up changing my major to theater, but specifically costume design, because you're also required to do, it's the equivalent of doing lab hours where you have to go do experiments and stuff, but you had to go work in either the scene shop or the costume shop. So I was volunteering all my hours in the costume shop, and I was like living there. I was having so much fun with it. I learned so much about sewing just from the experience of doing it. I'm also pretty good at dyeing things. I don't do that much anymore, but I learned a lot of that in college. I didn't end up getting a degree because I was in a horrible car accident, but I picked up some really strange skills along the way.
Well, it's the journey, right? That's the most important.
Yeah, no, exactly it. One of the things I was the assistant to designer for Peter Pan at SDSU, and I spent a huge amount of time, one entire vacation, in the costume shop, and they were building full animal characters out of foam. We're like carving them. I learned so much at that time. It was really fun. So that's what was really funny when you guys were talking about doing puppets. Like, I know how to do that. It's a weird skill I don't get to use often.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
All right, right now I need to take care of a quick request by Vivian, who's posted a comment. Yes, she wants Jar Jar Pickles versus Skeleton. We might have
You
to do
can
that in a
make and
future
sell
show.
Jar Jar Pickles.
I think we just developed a new character in the show, or introduced a new character. He's so excited he lost his hat.
He was like,
He's
"Yeah,
excited.
you're the show."
Well, did you ever watch the show with Craig Ferguson? The Late Show with Craig. It was Late
Not
Show,
really.
wasn't it? It's been a couple of years. With Craig Ferguson, and he had Jeff Peterson was his like skeleton buddy that was on the show all the
Yeah.
time. We have pictures of Jeff Peterson from the live show and also from Comic-Con. But he always had his little skeleton buddy that would sit there and like talk and interview with him. And
That wasn't the one
That
where he
could
called
be
like
your own
Ahab was like a
personal
dead
Jeff
terrorist skeleton, Middle Eastern looking puppet thing. Was it?
Yeah.
I was never kind of a fan of that. That's me. Look, I made an awkward moment. Sorry.
How dare you?
Whoopsie.
Like weird.
Yep. All right, we are at 10:55. We got a little bit of this to take care of. And then we're going to go into overtime, shall we?
Yes.
All right, coming up. Everybody, remember our show Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, whoopsie doodles. Remember our show, what we did Memorial Day weekend? We're up for round 2. Everybody, next week's show, we're not going to have a guest. It is the end of summer, last chance to barbecue, official time. So we're having our Labor Day weekend cooking show and game show. We're coming back with probably the match show again, right?
Yes.
We're
gonna
coming
do
back with the
another
match show
game.
again. We're bringing back former guests as our panelists. We're going to talk to some of our regular viewers every week, and we're going to reward you with coming onto the show to be contestants in the game show next week. And Savannah and I will be showing off some of our favorite stuff to cook.
Yes.
So
So,
that will
guys,
be fun.
we're gonna need contestants, so don't wait till the last minute. We want contestants already, okay?
If you want to be a contestant, email us let us know through Facebook, or more preferably probably email us at latenightcrafttalk@gmail.com. No spaces, lowercase, latenightcrafttalk@gmail.com.
Yes, it will be so much fun.
We're looking for 3 or
Last
4.
time, Vivian burned her fingers.
Oh
Vivian, we have not stopped talking about that. When we did the scavenger hunt, one of the items was get a light bulb.
Grabbed her
Vivian's there
hand up and started
trying
trying to
to
undo
unscrew a light bulb, going hot, hot, hot. But
it.
wow, she is dedicated.
It was a lot of fun. So next week's show, you don't want to miss out. It is going to be hilarious. It's going to be a good time.
Let your
Maybe
friends
Baby
know.
Yoda might show up again.
Can he come with Skeletor? Can Skeletor and Baby Yoda be friends?
I think that they can be friends.
Because
I don't
you've
know about
already
Jar
said
Jar
no
though.
to Jar Jar. Jar Jar's both with us in show 1.
Jar Jar
Those
is.
things, like little Jar Jars to sell them, little mascots.
Well, when we start merchandising Late Night Craft Talk, because Baby Yoda's kind of taken up.
Oh yeah, I think so.
We're gonna have T-shirts with Jar Jar on it. It says Late Night Craft Talk.
It's like Team
And
Jar
Sophia's gonna
Jar.
love every minute of it.
I know. I always tell James how much.
Shaking your head no, but you mean yes.
You know what? I don't like Jar Jar because he has vinegar and he has pickles. I don't like either of those.
Does that make him a sourpuss?
Yes.
I don't judge, Sophia.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Sabrina. It sounds like you're laughing. Your timing sounds like you're a little bit on my side.
No, she's on my side. She's on my side. She's not on your side.
I'm going to ask the definitive question. Star Trek or Star Wars, Sabrina?
Oh, Star Wars.
You had such potential.
I still like Star Trek, but my 29-year-old son is about to move. He is leaving most of his collection here, and I have never been happier because it's got the Star Wars toys that I bought when it came out.
There you go.
Like, we have the chicken walker, push the button and the legs go, and all that other stuff.
When I was in high
But
school,
I have my Star Trek Barbies. I have those too. They will be going on display once he leaves and I have empty space.
There's Star Trek Barbies?
I have Star Trek Barbies.
I didn't know there were Star Trek Barbies.
Yep. I also have Star Trek action figures.
There you go. I've got one that's a friend handed me that's got, you remember the episode of Star Trek Voyager where you've got Lieutenant Paris becomes like this amphibian thing?
Uh-huh.
The dude gave us this. She said, "This is awesome." Looked at it and I'm like, cool. That episode of Star Trek was voted the worst episode of any series, including the animated series of Star Trek. It's so bad that they discounted it from canon. And it's like, this is cool. It's probably a collector's item. I'm going,
But that also makes it a cooler collectible item because it's awful.
it has no
the
value.
other day we were watching Lost in Space, which I remember growing up with Lost in Space. Sorry, I'm old.
The
I
original
remember
remake from
that.
Netflix.
And no. I'm talking about original Lost in Space.
Okay.
And we were watching it the other day, and I was just flabbergasted to see that they were supposed to be walking through a minefield. And the mines in the minefield were literally like, you could go get them at the 99-cent store, beach balls, like dotted around, like not even like painted. They were just like red and white and yellow and blue striped beach balls in the ground. And I'm like, were we really that stupid that we just looked at it and had such a willing suspension of disbelief? We didn't notice, apparently, because I didn't remember beach ball mines. It was very, very odd.
Well,
Yeah.
even in Star Trek and Star Wars, they have some little props that might be like, one time Star Trek stuck some LEDs on a curling iron, and that was an engineering implement. It's all props, but it was like I'm trying to remember the name, the movie. It's 1954. One of these B sci-fi movies that's got like a budget of like $12, and the monster, the alien monster, was literally a gorilla, because they couldn't find anything in the prop shop and they didn't have enough money to get something made. Was a gorilla suit with one of these bell diver masks you see from the Navy where they do deep dives. They got the
I
big rubber helmet
vaguely
comes up.
remember that. That wasn't one of the Ed Wood ones, was it?
No, but it sure looked like one of the Ed Wood ones. Ed Wood changed the game on it. I mean, the greatest pairing was Bela Lugosi and Ed Wood.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
And Bela Lugosi.
So I was gonna say, okay, so one of the things that I watched, actually, I was rewatching a lot of the old Doctor Who, and I was watching the Tom Baker episodes, and there's this one where it's this robot, and he has these really long guns for arms, and they're clearly starting to point down, like, because they're so long.
Because there's
They're
no
pointing-
support.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, so they're starting to point down. So you can see that the angle is down, and these people that are standing up against shots, like, oh, we're like, that was funny. And then there's this one part where they shrink the robot or the alien gets really big, and it's clearly he's holding a doll. It's really obvious that it's like a green screen, and he's holding a doll because he's holding the doll.
It's funny to think that Doctor Who is actually like children's programming, but I also thought that children were stupid. Like, we are not going to notice all this stuff. And now when I look at it, I'm like, were we really that stupid, or did we just not care? And now we're spoiled, and kids are expecting things to be just like amazing effects and CGI.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to say it, but when you were talking about toys, I have a Star Trek Next Generation Will Wheaton Wesley Crusher action figure, because I love Wesley Crusher.
We actually been trying for him for the show.
Did you follow him on Instagram?
I need to.
Yeah, you should. He's really funny.
Yeah.
He spends a lot of time baking bread and showing his amazing hair standing straight up when he wakes up in the morning. But he's actually kind of entertaining.
I was thinking, like, maybe our show would even be cool enough that he might even consider being on our show.
Well, we're cool enough. Is he cool enough for us? Yes.
That's always
the question. We would love for you to be on our show.
Please. I'm looking for it, but I mean, she's kind of back here. We were talking, kind of cruising on the subject here about a minute ago, but when you talk about, like, say, Harry Potter, and what was the dude's name that played Harry Potter?
Say that again?
The actor's name that played Harry Potter.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Since he's not playing, he's playing Harry Potter for pretty much his whole teens. Since he's got out, he started making these other movies to try to probably, in his own, rebellious way, distance himself from Harry Potter character. He did that one called Horns, where it was like he swallowed a devil or something like that. And he starts developing horns. But I saw on Netflix, he's got another movie out called Guns Columbo or something like that.
Horns is really, really good.
Pretty good.
It was actually not a super fan of the movie, but the book was really, really great. It's actually written by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. But if you want to see a really good Daniel Radcliffe, really funny movie, if you haven't seen it, watch Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man? Okay.
He's
that
dead
might check. I'm
in the entire movie, and it's hilarious.
I'll have to check that out, but I'm looking for the one on
Swiss
Netflix
Army
I saw, but he basically calls Guns Columbo or something like that. And he plays a guy where he got kidnapped. He wakes up, he's got guns bolted to his hands.
Guns for hands?
Guns bolted to his hand, not like Edward Scissorhands, but like guns bolted. And he's got to do this like trick thing. He's got a certain time or he'll get shot. And all he can do is just move his hands and shoot the guns. And I'm like, I definitely think somebody's hated their teens and is trying to distance himself from that wholesome family character.
No, he could just afford to experiment and do fun stuff. So
that he was in the.
I don't know about that.
He was in the second movie, Now You See Me.
Was he?
Yes, he was the son of the guy they were trying to get.
That was the one with all the the magicians, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he did a good job.
That's the one with like Woody Harrelson's in it and stuff. That was cool.
You know what? I don't think of him as Harry Potter like I think of John Travolta as Danny Zuko.
Say it again?
You and your grease.
I'm telling you, there's no way that John Travolta could ever get away from Danny Zuko. Ever.
No.
Oh, no.
Ever. I was
We're
watching
talking
Michael.
Grease here, right?
Do you remember the movie Michael where he's like supposed to be this angel?
I love that
That was a good movie.
And there's this part where there was a very emotional moment, and just all of a sudden it popped into my head, like Danny Zuko singing like Grease Lightning, and I just started laughing.
It depends on the generation, because there's going to be a whole other generation that remembers him for Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, no, it's true. It kind of depends on where you first saw him, and he goes through that. So.
Yeah. Honestly, I think of John Travolta. First thing I think is Pulp Fiction. Then I start
All right,
remembering
I'm
Saturday
old.
Night
I think
Fever.
Welcome Back,
Grease.
Kotter.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's forget Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking 2.
Oh, those don't exist.
Thank
Those
God.
are okay.
No.
But Grease is like,
That's your jam.
yeah.
Come on.
Not Grease
Grease.
2.
We're gonna talk
Grease
John
1.
Travolta. We got to remember the walk from Saturday Night Fever. I think we need to have a contest of the walk from Saturday Night Fever one week. We must.
Yeah, who's going to do the
It
walking?
must be done.
I don't know.
Wendy Hodge has a cool comment. Original Lost in Space has some of the best worst special effects.
Yeah. No, I was really shocked. I didn't realize that. I didn't remember how completely awful that bit was. I remembered bits and pieces of it. I wanted to be Penny, but
I'll have to rewatch the original from the 1960s for Lost in Space. I'm just hooked on the new Netflix reimagining. God, it's good.
Yes. Okay, so Sabrina, what
yes.
advice
Sorry, I'm
do
seeing
you
my glasses because I can't see.
So what
Say that again?
advice? So let's get back to our interview. Like we like talk about pop culture, which I loved. I could talk for hours about pop culture. But so Sabrina, what advice do you give to crafters at a craft show, for example? Like how can they improve their sales?
Displays are an enormous part, and I think most crafters don't realize that. Obviously, things are going to have to get reimagined with COVID as far as like touching things, because if people can't touch it, they don't necessarily want to buy it. So we have to find ways to like package things. I asked you guys that a couple days ago when I was putting things together. Displays should be pretty. They should make your eye move. They shouldn't be laying flat on a table because that's boring and I don't want to look at it. Mm-hmm. Give your customers space. I think that's a really huge one. I worked retail forever. Let them know you're there. Let them know you'll be happy to answer questions. Don't talk their ear off. Let them look. Let them just enjoy. If they have a question, be right there ready to answer the questions for them. But that's the biggest mistake I ever see, is that people are really pushy in their face or they don't talk to them at all. There has to be a balance in there. I think that's really, really important. Another important tip is pricing. Make your price so that you're not ripping yourself off, but do it low, because most people, especially nowadays, are going to be looking for something inexpensive. Don't cheat yourself, but be reasonable and realistic about it.
Maybe
a crafter
also
that I know, well, there's this one crafter that I know that makes this huge mistake that she tries to change the prices on, like she might make a whole bunch of the same thing. But this fabric was on sale at Joann's for, I don't know, $5 a yard. Where this one she bought from some specialty place was like $26 a yard. And so she's charging different prices. But as a customer, I don't know and I don't care. I want to know how much your thing is. So make your prices balance out. So that's the other trick. When you're making things, pricing is hard. It's not easy to just go, okay, all of them are this. But you gotta have some common sense and look at it from the point of view of the customer. Because as a customer, I don't want to hear you paid a stupid amount for that fabric. So you're going to charge me 10 times more?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to go for the one that's going to be a lower price.
Generally, for the most part, probably 85-90% of the customers, yes. But, don't stick something that's, if you've got a specialty fabric where somebody that's very knowledgeable customer, which is rare, is going to recognize it, but 99 out of 100 people aren't going to recognize it. Don't stick that specialty item with everything else that's a third or less the price.
Exactly.
If you got a high rent section, stick in the high rent section.
Sure they know it's special. Yeah, you can't have like a basket full of purses here and they're all at crazy different prices in such a huge range. There has to be a similar range in there. Find a way to balance it out. If you got something that's like really, really special, make sure it's showcased as something special. Don't
Mhm.
have it in that same basket in there.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
a tricky business. Crafty businesses are a little tricky as it is.
Yeah.
And you can't sit there and go, this show is horrible. I only made this much, and last week I made that much. There's no predicting. This is a gamble. You have to do it because you want to.
In retail, it's
You have
often
to do
said,
like-
did you break even? Yeah, I went. Then it was a successful show.
Yeah.
It's the bare ass minimum, but
Exactly.
you broke
I
even.
have
You
a
know
couple
what?
friends
Welcome
who
to
are like,
retail.
I have to make 5 times the amount. Yeah.
I think
I mean,
one of the
I
things-
come from an experience of,
Yeah.
I worked in retail for years and years and years, like selling other people's merchandise. So I have a balance of that, and I can see what the customers are looking for that way. But then I also come from the like more artistic side because I'm making things. So I've learned to find a sort of reasonable balance for that in pricing.
And I bet you're having to reset that balance every so often, more often than you're willing to admit too. That's
Yeah.
a constant struggle. I think one thing that we never really touch on when we get into these conversations later in the show are really that we get some of our newer artists or people learning the business or wanting to get more insight to try to survive the times,
Sure.
get out of it and rebuild, is that one of the things that we don't talk about as much is overestimating one's value.
Yeah.
I have seen artists, and there was a person a number of years ago that, he looked at my work, goes, no, I'm better than you. He's just making stringy necklaces. It was really, I mean, a fifth grader could do it, blindfolded, asleep. And he said how great his work is. And he priced himself out of range for something that is, like I said, a 5-year-old could do it.
Yeah.
And he greatly overestimated himself and would be mad at people for not spending the money. Somebody look at it and goes, that's really expensive. Goes, well, if you can't afford it, go on. I'm quality. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're also not in reality. And, like, granted, I'm giving an extreme example of overstating what he's doing here, but not really by the time. But, people overestimate the quality of their work. And many underestimate the quality of their work.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's that balance is a little tricky. Look and
Yeah.
see what else is out there and try to figure out what will the market bear. Is that reasonable for me to make and sell it? Maybe you're only making them because you like making them. That's cool. And maybe you're making them to pay your daughter's way through college. Gotta make sure that you're not end up sitting on a ton of merchandise. But there's also a trick to that too. You have to make sure you have enough merchandise for a customer to feel like they have a choice.
Yeah.
If you only have 5 things on your table, they may look at you and walk right away. They have to have drawn in there and see that there are choices in there. And then there's also too much choice can be a problem too. So
Yeah.
it's all about the balance. Doing
Mhm.
some research, doing some math.
So what do you think about people, like, how do you engage your customers? Like, because I know many times you'll go to craft shows and you'll see these people that are like this.
You remind me of a
That's what,
couple
like,
of vendors at a powwow.
What do you think about that?
like I said,
Sabrina.
it's like, hi, are you looking for anything in particular? Okay, well, tell them a little story of something quick and just like, I'm right here. If you need anything, just let me know if you have any questions, and then check back in with them a couple times. But you don't want to be pushy, but you also don't want to completely ignore them, because
Yes.
I want you to acknowledge I was there. I don't want you in my face. Again, we're talking some balance going on in there. If
Yeah.
you're someone who's really shy, believe it or not, I was always the shy kid. Like, if they gave me the wrong order at McDonald's, I would just eat it because there was no way I was going to walk up and tell them that I needed something different. Find something like I did at the beginning. Find a story to engage them and tell them something interesting or funny. You sat next to me at craft shows, I'm sure, where you've heard me tell the story over and over about the thumbkins, because it gets people talking. They're like, what? That's made out of a glove? I didn't know that. Or
Yeah.
like, That's the thumb. Oh, something that gets them engaged in talking and get a story. If you have a tiny little script, you don't have just one. Have multiple scripts so that if you're shy and you're not comfortable talking to customers, you at least have something to talk to them about and gets them to come stick in your booth and talk to you. On my Etsy shop, I have my little story in there, how we started. I have a different story on my blog for my other page. Just you got to find a way. You got to talk to people. You got to engage them. Balance, balance, balance. I think that's the big thing.
Yes, that's really good advice because many times, like I said, I see it and James sees it all the time.
Yeah.
And you just gotta talk to people. You know, people
You don't have to be best friends. You do not have you're not
just
selling
sitting back there like I call it grumping at them. You're just kind of like grumping at them and just waiting for you to hand them money. Like it's uncomfortable.
I
You gotta look from the customer point of view.
Yeah.
And I know that my daughter is the one who absolutely hates when people come up and talk to her in a store. So that's why I really learned to balance because in retail, I worked on commissions for a while and I had to be the overly pushy. Like I went from super shy to like super pushy. It's like, okay, now pull back a little bit. You got to find that nice little balance in the middle.
Yeah. Here's something else you kind of touched on with talking to people, staring at people. When the customers walk up, you're watching them. And people know that and they're kind of like, this dude's staring at me.
And they're like afraid to
shark.
touch things and they just feel, they don't even know why they're uncomfortable. They just walk on. Why would I stay in your booth if I don't feel comfortable?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
I just every so often you get a new vendor or the type that just like they're waiting for them to like look at something and they'll pounce and go, well, and she give you the bets, but they're like, you know, they're crouched down, right? They're like crouching tiger, ready to go dragon.
So
you can watch people without looking straight at them. That's why I say you say hi and then you back off a little. It doesn't mean you're like letting them like steal everything in your store. Of course you're gonna watch it.
So
you don't need to be like.
So in the movie Swingers, there's a part where like the one guy's standing on one side of the bar and he sees the girl on the other side of the bar and he wants to ask her out on a date. And so they're like, yeah, see the bunny? Don't kill the bunny. Don't kill the bunny. Just be nice to the bunny.
It's so true.
I would have to see this movie.
Swingers? Oh, it's such a great movie. It's not about swingers. It's about these people that swing dance.
I kind of figured it'd be about swing dance because on the other one.
But actually, you know what?
The other plot.
You know what? Actually, what's really cool about the movie Swingers is that there was a scene in Hollywood back in like when I was in the late 90s where people would go to the Derby and people would go to the clubs late at night and listen to the jazz music. I mean, this was the actual like scene. So it's kind of cool that they have it because there was a Dresden, there was a Derby, you know, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah. We got some watcher comments here.
Yes.
Actually, Dennis right here says, you were right, James. I have seen lots of newbies fail because they think they know better.
Oh, yeah. They don't listen. They don't watch and learn from the people around them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep. Vivian says, we call it the 2-minute elevator script.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it.
Yep.
This is something I really learned and I work with my girls in Girl Scouts. Hey, Girl Scouts has the biggest program in the entire world for selling stuff, right? We teach the girls the 30-second elevator script.
You have little terrorists that go hunting people and hunt us down and rip our money out of our hand and make us walk away with cookies.
It's true, but how do they do it? They come up and they have something to say to you. They're like, oh, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies? No, thanks. Like, oh, but did you know, blah, blah, blah. And I've got 8-year-olds that can tell you in 30 seconds why you should be buying some Girl Scout cookies, and you're going to be walking away with Girl Scout cookies because they're prepared. They know what to say. And they're not all using the same script. They're using their own personal script. We give them some guidelines to that, but everyone should have that.
Some of the girls can nail it. My niece, when she was a lot younger, because she's in college now, she would go, and even at 3 years old, she figured out real quick, probably 2, get a little trouble with the dad, and she'd go, Daddy, and give the look, and Dad go melt, and she'd get away with murder. Not literally, but if somebody says no, they just go, but we're selling the cookies, and you're like, I can't put it away and say no. I feel guilty, and and she's a cute little girl at the same time. I'm stuck. Damn it. So
yeah, when they're little,
they got an edge.
What we call the acorn caps. That's just like instant. They just look at you and like, okay, here's my money.
Well, like Boy Scouts selling popcorn. It's like, you want to buy some popcorn? All right, kid, maybe a little bit, but it's not a little girl going.
Yeah.
You might remind of the daughter or niece going, okay. And then there's the fear.
Yeah, I've been through both of them. My son was a Boy Scout for years and years and years and years. But it had to do with the selling points too, though. The girls were always prepared, and he would be like, "You want to buy some popcorn?" No. Okay. How is that? Like,
there's a different approach with the kids, with the boys.
Yeah. That was my son, and then my daughter, who is was painfully shy, was like terrified to go ask anybody anything, and I totally related to that. She would just be like, "Would you like to buy some Girl Scouts?
Gus needs to
Well, help my trip do this." So.
I was always terrible at selling Girl Scout cookies. Terrible. I didn't sell. I barely would make the patch. Like how there's like the patch for the year. Like I would barely sell enough just to get the patch.
Well, but what I'm saying, the whole point being that like with your business, especially if you're a crafty business, you made this stuff. You should have some passion for the stuff you made. You should be able to tell about somebody why your thing is cool and they want it.
Yeah.
Because it's made out of a glove, and how cool is that? Or because this hat is amazing and don't you want to touch the fur? And these beads are from wherever. You need to be able to do a quick spiel to your customer and tell them why your thing is special.
And don't give them War and Peace. Give them the bullet points.
Exactly.
And make it poetic.
Quick commercials.
They're like, I need to shop.
For a reason.
Let me shop.
That kind of touches on something else here, because I am a cynical customer. I won't trust you. If I come over and I see that you're putting on an act, I'm like, no. You got to believe in what you're selling. Here's another part. What character do you play when you're trying to sell to somebody? You play a character, you play yourself.
You play a character named you.
Bingo. Yeah.
That's what somebody taught my daughter, and that's how she got over her shyness. Just like, you may not be comfortable with it, but you need to be this character named you who's doing this thing. And that got her through it. Now she's teaching other Girl Scouts the same thing, and other kids that she knows. She's like, okay, you can get through the moment by being this character named whatever your name is.
Yep. I know. Believe it or not, I'm very shy. But it's just kind of also practicing, talking in front of people, just not necessarily like a toast or like a speech, but just talking in front of people, just, be honest and be yourself and just tell people why it's special, they want to hear that, because that's the difference between buying it from you or buying it from like a store, like Target or whatever, or Michael's, they're actually buying something that you made, and that's what makes it special. So
they're buying your faith in you.
Hats. I had somebody come up to me like, oh yeah, I saw a hat like that at 7-Eleven. I said, well, you saw one that was made out of a similar type of fur. However, this one is one of a kind. It's all handmade and blah, blah, blah. They turn around, they buy it. I mean, not everyone will, but you got to have confidence that you made something awesome and tell people how awesome it is. If you can't sell it, who can?
Yes, this is true.
It kind of goes along the lines right there. It just reminds me it's not completely disassociated or not relevant. It's like somebody who's selling the jewelry they make and not wearing their jewelry.
Yeah.
You got to believe what you have, and you got to showcase what you have.
You got to show what you have, exactly.
With you wearing it.
And that's why this crazy 56-year-old lady will walk around wearing a fuzzy, furry hat. Because if I'm not going to wear it, no one will.
Yes, Maya, I'm very shy. Believe me, or believe it or not. Like,
You know,
if
most
I'm in a group,
extroverts actually are secretly shy. They just find a way to get around it.
I'll admit it. I was one of those kids that I stuttered. I couldn't talk to anybody I didn't know or immediate family. Even if I kind of knew you, I stuttered all the way into high school. Even now, I am actually just like you. I am a very private person. Says the guy that puts himself on Facebook Live when I'm doing voiceovers for something and talking. But you know, it's worth sharing. But still, even now, I'm kind of like, I got to do a little psych up before I get in front of the camera. Not much, but yeah, we have that in common very much. So
yeah,
Shy
because I know
state.
it's like before, like my first job, my first retail job, I actually worked at the Disney store. I wanted to work there forever. That was like my store that I wanted to work at.
Mhm.
And it was actually good to work there because I really learned how to like talk to people, you know, and it's just, you know, I'm not saying that every time like I work at my store or I'm at a powwow, I'm putting on a show, because that's like the terminology. But it's
Some
like
do.
when you when you're out there, it's like you put aside anything that's going on and, you know, put it aside, and then you make it a positive experience for your customer, and that's by talking to them and getting to know them and all that. And that's just, and it becomes so natural.
Look forward
You know,
to and
you're their
enjoy
host.
their company.
You're their host. You invited them into your store, which is your home for the day. So you want to make them feel welcome when they're in there.
Yeah.
Well, so
So
I'll bring out the easy chair, you know, have a coat rack for them. Am I going too far? Am I going too far to make them feel welcome? And I won't mess up their names like Dobby and Schmeagle.
No, I intentionally was calling Schmeagle Dobby because he is perpetrating that he's Schmeagle, but he's really Dobby.
And that's why you made a poor host. You screwed it up.
On
180.
purpose.
We have a comment from Vivian. You also have to keep your bagged at home.
Your bag at home?
Bagged at home. B-A-G-G, probably bag at home.
It
Your
says
baggage?
baggage. She said she
Yeah.
said no baggage.
Bagged at home. I'm like, what? Oh, baggage. Yes.
Baggage at home, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's been so many times I've been
Baggage.
to like a show or a festival and people are like about everything awful that's going on in their life, and you're just like, okay, bye. I don't even care what you're selling. I don't want to sit here and listen to that because I could go do that elsewhere.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I don't know if that's what she meant, but that's what I've seen, and that's what drives me crazy.
Yeah, because it's like you don't, like, if you're going shopping, you know, I mean, yes, of course you would care if it's like something you're open to, but if you're like wanting to shop and the person you're looking at is like, yeah, so I've had a really bad day and it's been a terrible day and it's so rainy and it's cold and I just don't like being here. It's like, I don't want to look yourself.
Just like, gee, that makes me happy to be here. Or they tell you all about, or you hear them talking about, not that they're talking to you, but all about the fight they had with their husband or their boyfriend or their whatever drama. It's like, leave the drama at home.
Yeah.
This is
Keep the
not
conversation
place for it.
apolitical, keep it polite, because the customers can overhear you talking.
Yeah.
And at the same point, when you're talking to, say, somebody else in your booth or helping you or whatever, and you're talking to a customer who walks up, don't go dead silent and look at them.
Yes.
Because people are like, oh, they're nailed, they're zoned on
Sorry, I
me.
interrupted
They're
you.
like, I feel uncomfortable.
It's like the lunchroom in high school. Like, oh, they must be talking about me because they're not talking at all now.
Well, they hear you talk, all of a sudden it's dead silent, and you're like, oh.
Did I interrupt something?
Sorry, I leave.
Maya says, goodbye vibes, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So guess what, James? It's already like the end of the show.
It is the end of the show.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Sabrina, do you have your mini-me?
I do have my
You have
mini.
your mini me.
One piece of business. We're not going to. Did we already say we're not going to have a contest this week?
Oh no, we weren't even gonna say anything.
Before we close, too,
Oh, you!
everyone who watched gets a special discount if they go in my Etsy shop. If you go into my Etsy shop, the Mostly Monsters Chula Vista, it's very important you have that Chula Vista or that CV in there. Otherwise, you'll end up at somebody else's Mostly Monsters shop. There's a lady in New Zealand who has a shop. But when you're checking out, if you're buying $10 or more, you put in Late Night Crafts, and you'll get 20% off.
Late Night Crafts or Late
Can
Night
you
Crafts?
can you guys put the
I'll
coupon
put the
up
code.
later?
I'll put the code in there.
Okay, so that will be good all the way through the end of September.
Yay! That is
To give
really
a special
cool.
bonus to anybody who watched, and I'll post it on mine as well. Okay, here's my mini me.
This is my mini me.
Okay.
Her
Well-
hair's the wrong color.
I brought out Skeletor too. Jar Jar.
There you go.
Do you have Baby Yoda with you, Savannah?
I
No,
don't
baby
have Baby
Yoda
Yoda
is
with me.
sleeping right now. I'm not gonna wake him up.
I know he's tired from smashing Tokyo.
He's sleepy.
Okay. All right. One little piece of business, everybody. We're not going to have a contest this week because we don't have any guests next week because it's it's our holiday, our Labor Day weekend, our major holiday weekend show. So we won't
Instead,
have
you
that
get
this
20%
time.
off
But
at Monthly Monsters.
Yes, everyone's a winner.
Good. Everyone's
everybody's
a
a
winner.
winner, mostly monster. Bingo. Yep. So we're going to end the show tonight doing a little sing along with our friends and our alternates. We're going to go out singing Monster Mash. Correct?
Your music to sing to, or are we singing a cappella?
Well,
Singing
Skeletor
acapella.
can play the banjo for us, but it won't come through the mic very well.
Okay.
He likes it.
All right, you
Okay.
ready? I was working in the lab late one night, and my eyes beheld a terrible sight. When the monster from my lab started to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash.
Smash.
he did the
mash.
monster mash. The monster mash.
The monster
It was a
mash.
graveyard smash. He did the mash.
Not match.
It's the monster mash.
Mash.
The
And good
mash.
night, everybody.
It's the monster mash.
Monster Mash. Aw, ain't he cute?